Okay, so the next task for me is, because next week is going to be online class, so I think it might be better for me if I teach you the Looker Studio today, because I think that's the one that you might be interested, and then you can kind of get a feel of what the project is going to be about in terms of the dashboard, okay? The rest of the thing, I think it might be okay to learn online, but I want to make sure that you can get it up and running first when we're together in the class, okay? So we're going to skip to the Looker Studio section first, okay? It will be, quite short because it's quite easy to use, I would say, compared to Python, okay? So why don't we go into this and then download the code one more time for me, please, okay? What is this? Nope. So I'm going to put in another folder called Looker Studio, I guess. And then I'm going to open VS Code one more time and drag the folders in. Okay, does anyone have problem getting this into your VS Code? Okay, I'm going to keep going, okay? If nobody has any issues. Okay, so what are we working on today? So today I want to introduce you to the visualization tools called Looker Studio. But again, why am I open VS Code today, okay? The reason is that usually when you use things like Power BI or Looker Studio, like everyone will give you the data that is already formatted, like nice and easy to use. But actually, that's never the case in real life. Like before you even input the data into your visualization software, you got to do something with it, like processing, right? And again, Python is the best one to do this job. So that's why I'm telling you, even before you do anything with the visualization software, you got to make sure your data is what you want it to be, like in the right format first. Okay, so that's why I'm kind of go through it right now. Okay, so what are we looking at in terms of the data? So let's open it in Excel, shall we? So the first thing is I'm going to open the, okay, not this one, sorry, data, okay. So sales, okay. So these are the sales data, meaning that this is the company. I think it's fictional company that sells like outdoor equipment stuff. And then they have many locations around the world. So this is the sales records basically. So the date, right? And then they have the customer, which are ID, right? There's no name or anything. And then there's a country where they have the branches in different places, okay? The state for that particular country. Okay, and then the products that the customer is buying, so accessories and things like that. Okay, there are many things in here. So there are product categories, and then there are subcategories, and then there's the actual name of the product. So there are kind of like many levels of categories in here. And then there's also the order quantity, so how many did each customer buy things, and how much does it cost, okay, and then the price. Okay, so that's not many columns, right? But check out the number of rows. So we have about 100,000 rows. So that's a good candidate for using something like Python. It's a lot, right? Okay, so that's for one of the table, but we have more, okay? Again, this is what would be something that if you do your project, I'm expecting you to have maybe more than one file. For example, this one, there's a customer files. Okay, if I look at the information, you will see that it starts with a customer ID. And if you recall the other sheet, right, they have the column called the customer ID, and that's where the data is linked, okay? So usually, like even if you like work in the company and they record data in the database, you know, separate things into many tables, that's actually more efficient than having just one table with many columns. So typically, if you export data from the database, this is something that you would get. You would get the sales with some customer ID, but then there would be another table that has customer ID, and then that will be another, a set of information for each of the customers, like the marital status, so married or single, and then yearly income, children. So I don't know how did they collect all of this information nowadays. It will be difficult to do, but yeah, that's how they did, right? So they have a bunch of customers in here too. So they have more than about 20,000 customers, okay? So we want to analyze or visualize this data in Looker Studio, or if you want to do it in Power BI, that's also fine too, okay? But even before we do that, might be a good idea to process the data, make sure the data is all clean, no duplicates, and joining all the data so that it's easy to visualize, okay? That's my goal here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a blank page. Okay, you guys can follow it from my file if you want. Okay. Okay, so first I'm going to import Panda. Again, my favorite tool for data processing and analysis. Okay, so this will be my kernel. Okay, and then I will do sales, okay? Equal pd.read Excel, okay? Let me turn off this thing, okay? So the data lives inside data and then sales.xlsx, okay? Oh, I think I might sales misspell like that, right? Wait, what? Data. Oh, actually, this file is actually in the wrong location. So let me fix that. This file needs to be in here. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna go here again. Okay, rerun, and then run this one. So it works. Okay. So keep in mind that we are working with 10,000 rows of data. It's actually 100,000 rows of data. So that's why the loading time is a bit longer. But once it loads into your memory, it's actually quite fast. If you will see that all the operation is instanced again. So sales.info. I want to see if there's any missing value, right? As we always do. I want to see there are about 113,000 rows. So, and I can see right now that there are some missing data in here, right? Because this one is a bit less than the other. Okay, so maybe I can do something like that. I can do something about it. First, I want to see how many missing data are there, so I can do this statement. It will tell me that actually the column called dates, there are missing value in 10 of the cells, okay? So we can do something about it. So typically, you might want to reinsert the dates back into the rows, but since we already have so many rows, so I think I'm just going to drop it. So cells drop NA, meaning that we are dropping the row that has missing data because we have so many. So that should be fine for this demonstrations. Okay, so I'm using the assignment because I want to rewrite my original data. Okay, there you go. As you can see that it's very fast, like 100,000 rows. It's actually not that much in the memory. Okay, but during the reading, it's actually a little bit slower because of the hard disks, right? So sales.info, one more time. I want to see if, wow, I think I'm good, right? All the rows, all the column has the same number of entries, okay? Next up is duplicates. This one is actually quite hard to inspect if you have to do it manually. But with Panda, it's just a breeze, right? Sales.duplicated, right? .sum. That's it. Now I know that there's actually 1,000 rows in here that's duplicate, right? I mean, if you have to inspect this, good luck doing that, okay? But now I have the rows that may be overcounting, so maybe we can just delete them because this one will make our cells too much, over-optimistic cells, okay? So I want to drop duplicates, okay? So actually, even before we dropped it, I want to find which row actually is a duplicate, right? So I can do a filter. Remember, if I ask question if I type sales.duplicated, okay, it will give me the answer, lots of answers, which if it's true, then that row it's a duplicate, right? If you get something like this, it's called Boolean indexing. So I can always put it into like a filter. And then I can just put the filter back into my data frames in order to inspect which of the rows it's duplicate with the other one. So this would be a good data to give it back to whoever sent you this data. Like, why do you have duplicates in your table, right? Usually the admin or something, like maybe they have some database issues or something like that. Okay. But for us, I think we're just going to drop it. Okay, so it's as easy as just one line. So cells, drop, duplicates. That's all. Okay. If I do this, I have not rewrite my data yet. So I'm going to assign it back to the same variable in order to rewrite the original data, meaning in my memory though, not in the file. The file is untouched. Okay. Again, I just want to check sales.info one more time, see what happened. Okay. Okay, so right now, I mean, the number of rows are a little bit less because we just dropped everything. Okay. And then maybe we can create some more data, right? Typically, you can do this in your visualization software, but I mean, if you have Python, why don't we just do it here? It's everything is documented in the files, right? So check this out. I'm going to copy this one because it's kind of long, but you can kind of follow through it, right? See what's happening here. Okay. So right now, I'm creating a new column, right? I'm creating a new column called total cost, right? Which is going to be the quantity times the unit cost. Okay. Self-explanatory, right? The total cost, unit cost times the quantity. Okay. I want to calculate the revenue, which is the total income, basically. So the total income it's going to be the order quantity and then unit price. Okay, let me just do this without the dialog box. Okay, so the revenue is going to be equal to quantity times unit price. Okay, almost like an Excel formula, right? You can do that too. So, and then once I get the cost and the revenue, I can find the profit. So the profit is just the revenue subtracted by the cost, okay? And also the margin, okay? So the profit divided by the revenue, okay? So I mean, this is the things that for your project, I would expect you to have something like this. Okay, how would you pre-process your data, including the new matrices that you might want to be looking at in your visualization software? Okay, something like this. You're showing me this one, okay? Okay, next stop, I'm going to run it. And as you can see, it's blazingly fast, it's just instant, right? It's nothing when you're, okay? And we're done with the with processing of this file, right? So we're going to save it, okay? Oh, so actually, we're not done. We are going to join the data, okay? Because as you remember, we have customer IDs in here, but customer ID doesn't mean anything when we visualize it. So I want to append whatever that customer information into the columns that are next to my cell so that I only have one table, like one big table for visualizations. Okay? This part is going to be, I'm going to teach you later on because I'm skipping today. I want to teach you Looker Studio first. So if you don't understand it, it's okay. Okay? Come back once you learn about merging. Okay, that will be the next topic if I have time today, right? But what I want to do is I want to load the customer, okay? So it's going to be pd.readExcel, and then that's going to be data/customer.xlsx, okay? I always misspells. I don't know why. Customer with the S, okay? Done, okay? Again, not really that, it doesn't take that long. This one's pretty small. And again, I want to do customer.info just to see if there's any missing data. And actually gender is missing, okay? So yeah, they almost do a perfect job of surveying the customers, but it's okay. We can fix that, okay? So I can say customer, and I want to take care of my of the customer gender, right? Again, if I want to maybe just fill in the missing data, I can do fill NA. Okay, so all of this you have visited before. Okay, this is nothing new, but again, if you might need to go back and recall what it is. So fill NA, which is going to be filling all the missing data with unknown. Okay, so if I don't have the gender, I would just say unknown. Okay. Okay. All right. Again, this statement is like a preview. It doesn't change your original data. So I want to assign it back to whatever that column is. So I'm going to do customer, gender, okay, and then equal. So with that assignment, it will overwrite the original data, which is something I want. Okay. There you go. And if you want to make sure that your customer is taken care of in terms of the gender, then you can do info one more time, okay? And you can see that now my gender, why is it like this? Oh, okay, I actually misspelled. So I have the capitalized and non-capitalized version, so I need to go back and fix it here, okay? And you know what? I'm going to reload it because I don't want the extra columns in my data. Okay, there you go. So it's done, right? So you know it's a good idea to kind of check your data before you export it. Okay. Okay, what else do I need? Okay. Oh, I want to check it to see actually if unknown is actually in there. I can do customer, gender. And then there's my favorite function, value count with S. This one tells me that, oh, actually, I have input 125 cells with unknown. Okay. All right. There are a couple of things I want to do, which is I want to create another column called the age group. Because when I visualize my customer, you know, visualizing by age is a bit too detailed. I just need to know whether they're like children, adult, or seniors. So it might be better to group them so that when you do like a pie chart, it will be easier to understand. So I can do this one. So again, this one goes back into the apply topic that we did last time before we all collapsed with exhaustions. Okay, I'm just going to copy it here. Okay. Remember, I want to have some formula, like an Excel formula, right? But if I do it in Python, I can always write it as a function. Okay, and again, this function will get an input argument as the value for each of the cells in that column. Okay, so I name it as age, but keep in mind that age, it's like the value for each of the cell in the columns. Okay, and all I need to do is to apply this function back into whatever the columns that I need. Okay, and that is going to be df, and then that's going to be age, right? Age group. Oh, sorry, actually it's going to be age. Okay, not df but customer. Okay, so I want to apply this function called age group into that particular columns. Okay, again, if I just hit enter, then you'll see that my age column, which is originally number, it becomes a text, which is a category. Okay, and I want to create a new column, so I'm going to do assignment and then customer. And then I'm going to do age group. Okay, so a new column, because I know that I'm going to need this when I do the visualizations. Okay. Okay, so let me run it again. Done. Okay. Okay, if I want to check out my age group to see, how many rows are in different age group, then my favorite functions to do, age group, right? That's going to be value count, dot value count with s. That's when I can, just take a look really quickly that actually we have lots of adults ordered. Or actually, this one is more like adult customer in the database, not necessarily the sales, because this is the customer database. Okay. Okay. So the next part is something that you haven't seen before. So I'm just gonna talk through it briefly. Okay. But the idea is, I have the customer and I have the sales. I want to merge them together. Okay. You might have done this operation before in Excel. It's called VLOOKUP. Okay, but you might not have used it before because but if you go to work in the company and you use Excel, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to use VLOOKUP at some point, and that is a very painful way to join your data. I can tell right away. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I want to merge these two data together. So I'm going to do sales.merge, and I'm going to merge customers. Okay, customer, and then I'm going to use the column, the merge column, meaning that the column that contains the intersecting data is called customer ID. Again, I will go through this topic later on in detail. So just kind of just kind of look through it for now. Okay, how equal to left? I want to do left join. Okay. And this one, I'm going to say SM, meaning that cells merge. Okay. And if I were to do cell sm.info one more time, you're going to see that right now, in addition to all of the sales data, right, up to here, this is from the sales data. I have, the original columns and all the new one with the revenue, the profit, the margin. So that is a calculated data. And also I have, the customer information based on the customer ID. I join the data, and that's essentially what if you were to do it in Excel, that will be the VLOOKUP function. Okay. Okay. And if I want to maybe just start to plugging or getting some of the data out, then I can do that too by using the value counts one more time. So for example, I can do marital status, right? So see, So keep in mind that these are the customer that actually bought my products, okay? Something like that, okay? And also, the thing that you are going to see right away is whenever you start to join the data, there's always going to be the missing data, because not all, like the customer ID on the sales data might not have a match with the customer. It might be possible that there's no match when you try to join them. So I have to take care of the missing data one more time. As you can see that for my sales, I do have, about this many rows, right? But then if I look at the customer ID, then I can see that it's actually not equal. So that means that when I join, there are some customer ID that's missing. So I need to take care of some of these guys. And that's exactly what I do it here, okay? It's long, but as you can see, it's documented, right? The good thing about this approach is it's documented, meaning that I always know what I did because it's a code that I do, right? What I did it here, so I want to say, there are certain columns like marital status, there are missing customers, so that means there's a missing data, so I'll just fill with the unknown, okay? And also the yearly income, I just filled it with the median, because if you have the numerics column, you might not want to fill it with a string. You want to fill it in with the median instead of 0, because 0 meaning that that guy has no income, but sometimes it's missing, so you don't want to input 0. So I'm inputting the median. So take a note for something like this when you fill in the missing data for the numerics. Median is your friend, okay? And also, I can do the same thing with the total children, okay? I just do the median, okay? I don't want to do the mean, because mean meaning that you might have the decimal, right? It doesn't make sense, okay? And as you can look through it, I fill in the data that kind of makes sense. If I think some of them can be unknown, I just fill it with unknown. But then the rest just median and all the unknowns, okay? So after I did all of this, I can check one more time with the info, sm.info, right? And now you can see that my data is all clean, okay? Everything filled in, no missing data, no duplicates, and I have all the columns that I want, okay? Right? And you usually, if you are learning like a data visualization software, then you will be given this data because they're all clean, right? But in reality, before you even do that, there's a lot of steps that you have to do. And that's the part where I want to see you do it in your project too, okay? Because that happens all the time. Actually, the part that you do the processing might take longer than the part where you actually do the analysis. That's why we call data analyst a janitor. We all clean data all the time, Okay. Are we done? I think we're done. Congratulations. So I'm going to do SM to Excel, meaning that I want to export this to Excel, okay? Okay, so I'm going to do sales customers, okay, like that. And then I'm going to do index equal to false, so I don't need the numerics index. Okay, so if I did this, then you're going to see that I'm exporting the data. And take a note that it actually takes some time, because writing big data, like 100,000 rows to the desks, it actually takes some time. It's fast in the memory, but once you do it in the hard disk, takes longer. But take a look at what I did afterward, right? I mean, if you have to work with 100,000 rows in your visualization software, it will be slow. It will be somewhat lacking. It's not too slow that you cannot do anything. You can work on this data. It will be annoying. It's lacking, right? So the next thing that I do is, if I have lots of data like this, I will always have 2 versions. This one, it's a full versions, okay? But I want the smaller one where I can prototype things quicker. So I'm exporting sm.sample, Okay, so this one also, it's something that I will recommend you if your data is like gigabytes large. Okay, so I want to sample, and in here I can say frac equal 0.1. So that means that I want to reduce the number of rows to just 10%. So if I have 100,000 rows, then that would just be 10,000. So 10,000 is actually much more manageable in terms of prototyping than 100,000 rows, okay? And you can even go smaller than this, you know, and that's something I would highly recommend. And then once you're done, then you can just replace the data and you're good. So I'm going to do frac 0.1 and then to Excel. Okay, so I have two files in here. And then this one is called sales customer underscore small. And then index equal to false. There you go. And you will see that it takes much quicker to write to the disks too, okay? For obvious reasons, okay? All right, so we will be working with the smaller version of the data, and I'll show you how we go about replacing the data later on, okay? But okay, so, and if you cannot run Python right now, I think my zip file also contains all the output, so you should be able to use it too, okay? Without running anything, okay? I already gave you all the data you need, okay? Okay, so next up, let's go to Looker Studio, okay? Again, let me just explain why I chose Looker Studio, okay? So typically, you know, like for the past couple years, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I've been teaching Power BI. And you know, I enjoy it. Even now, I still enjoy it. I use it from time to time. But what I found is, first, Power BI requires subscription. It's, I mean, it has two ways of working on it. First, it's the cloud-based. So the cloud-based would be, I guess, cross-platform, right? It's, typically, it's not free, okay? So either your organization, like Murata last time, they used it. So if your company pay for it, then that's fine. You can use it, no problem, right? But I mean, if you are, I guess, on your own, then you probably don't have the cloud access. It's going to be expensive. So the next option for Power BI is called Power BI Desktop, which, I mean, we already installed it here too because it's free, but it's only available on Windows. So that's my biggest red flag, okay? So sorry, Mac guy, you cannot use the desktop version, okay? So I've been exploring the new options, and I came across Looker Studio. Before it's called something else. It's just changed the name to Looker Studio. Looker Studio is always going to be cloud-based by Google. Okay, so cross-platform, but you can use it right now with just the Google account with no payment. As long as you don't use it too much, you can stay free. Like I haven't paid it at all. I've been using it for like 2 years for various projects, never pay anything. So I think it's a good choice. And you know, before it wasn't that great in terms of functionality, but now it's getting much better. Okay, so I do recommend if you're on your own and you're not being paid by your company, this is one of the better options, I think. Yeah. All right, so let's go. I'm going to go to Looker Studio, and I want you to use this in your project too. So it's good to try it with me, okay? You will be using this in your project. I'm expecting a dashboard of some sort from your data, okay? All right, so not this one, Looker Studio. This one. And I see I have a lot of things in here because I use it a lot. I enjoy it. It's pretty cool software, okay? All right, so I think before, if you were to use it, you have to sign in and you have to click through some of the form. You have to have the consent form. So please do that before, and then you will be landed at this dashboard. Come on, man. Let's do it. Can you turn this one off? This is not cool. Please, okay? No games, man. I don't think that's kind of polite, though. Please, no game. Please, no game. ครับ Come on, man. We don't play games in here. That's what I told my kids too. Okay? You should turn it off. Okay, good job. I want to see this dashboard on your screen. I want to see it too for you. Come on, man. Let's leave it. I want to see this on your screen. Come on, man. Come on, man. Looker Studio. Okay, you need to unzip it. You need to unzip it. Let me do it. This one. You only did this one for now. Okay? So I want to see this one on your screen, Looker Studio. Let's go. Come on, man. Right. Okay, I'll wait for you to stop playing, and I will teach, okay? If you don't stop, I don't teach. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be creating a new report, okay? Right here, reports. Okay, and as you can see that the reports will ask you for your data, okay? So let's, there are many ways you can input your data, and the most, I guess the most common one would be to use Excel, okay? But before you click on it, I would kind of advise against it because I have been having lots of problems with Excel. So what happened is when you upload the Excels in here, it goes into the, it's called Google Cloud Platform. And then it has a bunch of weird permission issue once you start to share your reports. So, I mean, if you do this option with Excel, you can work on it, you can see it, but once you start to share, then it doesn't work anymore, okay? So I kind of stopped using that option, okay? So the next option that I want is actually that I've been experimenting and it has been working for me. It's called Google Sheets. Okay. So, but where is our data, right? We need the data in our sheets, right? So let's create it, shall we? So with the same account, I want you to create a new Google Sheet. So go to your Google Drive. Okay, come on, man. Come on, man. I will stop. Thank you. Thank you. I will stop. I will not stop. All right, and why don't we just create a new sheet like this? Okay, and you know what? We can just import our data. The easiest one would be just import. Like this, okay? And just upload it. Okay, I just have to find where it is. So find where your file is, okay? I recommend you using the smaller one first. Again, remember, the reason that I had smaller one because it's faster. So you want the faster one. So I'm going to upload it in here. Okay, and usually if you have existing data, okay, you might not want to replace it. If you replace it, then everything else you had before is gone. But right now, because it's new, you can just replace it, okay? But next time, you might want to maybe insert a new sheet if you have like another data, okay? So keep in mind. But for now, I'm just going to replace it because it's new anyway, so import. Okay, and there you go. Got all the data you need, right? And again, I'm using the smaller data, so that means that everything's kind of more snappy, right? This is about 10,000 rows, okay? And feel free to rename your sheets, you know, I don't know, sales data, and your sheets too, if it makes sense. I'm going to say small, because I might be able to show you that if I you know, import another sheet with a bigger one, right? This one is a smaller version. I can have another sheet with the bigger version when I want to replace the data, okay? So, okay, now I'm going to go back here, okay? And now I'm going to click at my Google Sheets, okay? And there you go. Wait, actually, I don't see it because you know why? Because I need to refresh one more time. So, if you don't see your new sheet, I think you need to refresh the connector. So let me see. Okay, it does not work, so I need to go back. Let me go back one more time. Because I remember, like, if I create a new report, then it automatically refresh my connector. So kind of come back here again. And then I click edit. Okay. And now I guess my data is gone, right? So I can add data one more time to bring back the same thing. And now I think it should work, sales, okay. See, so before I open that tab, right, and then I create a new sheet, so then the new sheet doesn't get refreshed, so I kind of go back and forth, like I go back to the main page, click at the reports again, and click add data, and now my sheet's in here. So there's a bit of like a refreshing issue, like if you don't see it, can you go back and forth between the reports? Okay, so I'm going to pick small, okay, and then I'm going to click next. Come on, man. Oh, add, sorry. Okay, and then it was just going to tell you that, okay, you're about to add this data to the reports. Yeah, why not? Okay, and you're done, basically, with the data imports, okay? Just to verify it, you see it something like this. Like this, your data, right? It corresponds to the column's name in your data. That's what you want to see. Okay? Okay, so I want to see this one on your screen. So show me that you can import the data. Here you go. Can you find it? You have to go back. Can you go back to the main menu? Here. Okay, okay, that's fine. And then click here. And then add it. And now add this one. You see it? Nope. Okay, are you the owner of that sheet? Can you create a new sheet that you are the owner of? Okay, with your Google account. Okay, very good. You got it? Okay. You got your file upload? Google Sheets? Can I see your Google Sheet? You need to have your Google Sheets. Wait, yeah, something like that. Do that. Please. Do that. Okay, so that's okay.
แต่ว่าหนูขอถามหน่อยคือหนูอยากรู้ว่าอันเนี้ยหนูต้องกดตรงแหล่งที่มาใช่ไหมคะหรือว่าหนูต้องสร้างรายงานตอนที่มันคิด
Okay, can you ask me in English, please? I do this with my kids too. It's kind of fun. When my kids speak in Thai, I just say, "Can you do this in English?" Okay, you need to start. You can start from the beginning. So you can click at the icon, and then you can click Add Reports. Okay. Okay, how are you guys doing? Okay, good job. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Very good. It's kind of fun. I will be waiting. Okay. Speak English, please. Very good. You can read Thai now, right? Okay, so be careful with this option. Okay, so that one's gonna remove everything. So, yeah, good. So now you have to go back to the main page and come back to the report because the sheet doesn't get. No, it's okay. No, but then when you go to the report, you have to go back to the dashboard. Come back to the report. The list does not get updated right away. That's something I found. Okay, please. Come on. Stop. Stop. English, please. Okay, I can help you. Okay, you need to fill in the form. Okay. Okay. And then go down to the bottom and then hit OK. There's an OK button somewhere in here. Can you that's fine. Okay. All right. You have the data. Okay. Then add right here. It's actually in here. And click Google Sheet. Oh, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You're done. You're fine. Come here. Okay. And you need to log in somewhere somehow. Okay. Okay. Can I control? Okay. Okay, is that the one you have? I need this one. Oh, it's gone. Okay, I need your Google. Not this one. Not this one. Too big. Can I sit? Can I sit, please? Can I sit? Okay, you got it. I don't know why it's a little bit complicated. Okay, so everybody got it. So I will show you how to work with this software, okay? So actually, once you get the data in, it's pretty simple. First, let's check out the widgets, okay? For example, you can click at the charts, okay? And let's try the first one, so the scorecard, okay? I just put it in here. And that's all. I mean, so usually it will try to guess what you want. So this one is just showing some matrices, okay? So let's see what is it showing in here. I can click in here, and first of all, it's just showing the number of rows, which is probably not that useful. So I'm gonna come to this place right here and check out this one. So this is the whatever you wanna show, right? So I wanna change it into something else like age. Okay, so if you change it to age, then it will just sum all the age in the age columns. which is kind of weird, right? Why would you want the sum of the age, right? So another thing that you can do is called the aggregations. So instead of summation, I want to do the mean, average, okay? If I change into the average, that means that I want to calculate all the averages, the average of all the ages of my customer. So if I do that, then that's it. Now it's 34.71, right? So something like this is usually it's going to be your key matrices that you want to show on your dashboard. I don't know. Maybe something else would be nice. How about sales, total sales? Can you do the total sales for me? How about total revenue? Okay. And right now, I think if this one makes more sense, right? So this one summing all the revenues in all the columns. So you have sold, you have made about 10 million. This is in dollars. So you have made $10 million total in your data. Okay. You want to do the total profit? Let's do total profit, okay? We'll try another card. Maybe this one with a little more information, okay? Same thing. I can go to profits. Where's the profits in here? Profits. Total. Where's my profit? Oh, profit. Okay, that's all profits, okay. All right? So it's not too bad, huh? Income about 10 million, I got about 4 million as a profit. Okay, so something like this, you can do that right away onto your this, right? Next up, maybe we want to do some charts. Okay, you want to maybe drill down into type of stuff that you sold, then you can do bar charts. Would be something fun to look at. Okay. And right away, it was trying to guess what you need, right? But, I want to have, actually this one is a bit weird, right? It's plotting the country and then the age, which is the summation. This is so weird. So what I want the sales, maybe revenue, okay? And then sorted by the countries, okay? So I'm going to click at the graphs, right? Again, this one, there will be two things in here. So what is the y-axis? Actually, what is the x-axis? So the x-axis is going to be country. So this is, maybe we'll just leave it like this. If you don't have the country, maybe you can choose the country, okay? But then for the y-axis, I don't want age, right? I want maybe revenue. So I'm going to choose the total revenue. And there you go. I got the revenues by country. So now I know that my customers, my biggest customer are from United States. I would say that my biggest incomes are from United States, okay? So again, something like this, it's usually, that's something that you would have to kind of plan, right? So like, what do you want to get from your data? And I will try to get you to think about something like this during the proposal, right? What do you want to see, okay? And that's going to reflect on this, okay? But you know what? I want to see which product sells the most. Can you help me do it? I want to have another bar chart, but I want products. I want to see, maybe products is too broad. I want to do the category because the products is going to be a lot, right? Can you tell me which categories has the most sale? Okay, and we want to work on the category. So this one right here. So I want to sort the sales by the products categories. Okay, can you help me do it? Essentially, I want the bar charts where like different categories and how much is the revenue for each of the products categories. Don't you want to know that? Don't you want to know this? If you're owner of the store, Thought you want to know which product sells the most, right? Okay, yeah, I've seen some of your friends did it already, okay? So again, if you want to do it, I mean, you can even explore with the other type of charts too. You don't even have to do bar, you can do like bar with the vertical stacking, like it's up to you, okay? But I'm just gonna do this one for now, okay? So again, I want to do the X, so you have to think about what's the X, what's the Y, right? So my X would be my products categories, okay? And then my Y would be the revenue. Like this. Okay, so you see something like this. Okay, so from what I see right now, you should see that the bike is the top product, right? Remember when we go to the factory, I always ask like, which one's the top product? Because you want to know like which one they're selling the most, right? But another thing you want to see is maybe I want to see the number of things that are sold, right? Can you tell me which one has the most number sold? Which category? Right, but this one is like a income, right? But what about the number of actual products sold? You want to look at the quantity instead. There's a column called the quantity. Are you trying to do this? Okay, X is going to be product category. Product is too detailed. This one. There you go. But then your Y is going to be, okay, revenues, that's enough. Okay. But I want to see how many of them are sold, right? So maybe you can do quantity too. Okay, so I'm just going to change, you know what? I'm just going to copy it down, okay? Okay, and then I'll just change this one into quantity. Quantity, where is it? Quantity. I cannot find it. That's so weird. Where? I cannot find quantity. Oh, I can just search. Okay, order quantity. Okay, something like that. So as you can see that if I look at the income, the bike has the most income, but then you can imagine that it has the smallest number of quantity, right? Because it's a big one. The accessory actually doesn't give you that much income, right? But actually this is the income, right? But another thing you want to see is like the actual profits, right? Sometimes the income's a lot, but then the margin is low, so you want to see the profits itself. Maybe it's too cluttered, right? I want to plot it here. I can make another kind of set of chart that's go beside this one. Check this one out. So I'm going to go here, right? And then I'm going to add another matrix. You can see that this is the first Y, right? I can add another Y. So let's add another matrix. And another one would be profit. There you go. This is even better, right? So right now the chart tells you more things now, right? And again, the bike has the most profit, so pretty good, right? The accessory also has, maybe the margin is even more for the accessory, although the number or the actual amount is kind of low, right? So something like that. You can think about it like this, okay? Okay, What else can we do? We can do usually the line would be also, oh, actually, how about the pie charts, okay? It's pretty popular, okay? I want to see the customer, okay? So which one is the age group? Remember the age group that we did? I want to see the proportion of the age group of my customer. Which one's the most, I guess, which one is my top customer? Like, which category do they belong, okay? You might want to look at called the age group, this one right here. So I want to see how this one distributes in the pie charts. Okay, I saw some of you already did it. So it's just a matter of setting, right? As you can see, it's not that complicated, right? So I'm going to click here, and then instead of right now, it's country, which is not a bad guess, right? But I want to do age groups. Okay, and right away I can see that a lot of my customers are adult, right? It's much better than looking at the number, right? Looking at the pie chart. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay. Another thing that people usually do is time series, because remember that we have the order and then we have the date, so that's a good place to do the time series. So I'm going to do another chart called the time series. So let's explore one of them, shall we? Oh, okay. And right now, as you can see that I'm actually running out of space, okay? So maybe it's a good time to add a new page. So I'm going to add page. You can do that here too. Okay. And then, see, I have access to more than one page, okay? So I'm expecting you to have, maybe more than one page, because not one page, it's not that big, okay? So this is a good time, maybe we can do some time series in here, okay? And again, the system, it's actually not that smart. So it's smart enough to know that the X is going to be my date, because that's the only date data type in my data. Okay, so it's guessing this one correctly, but it's not guessing. It's not reading my mind on the y-axis. So I'm going to change them to something else, maybe like the revenue. The revenue, okay. Okay. And if I did this, then you can see that I have revenue, right? Plot in time. And this is another good way to take a look at your trend, right? You want to see if you are actually going up or going down. And this one looks like you're kind of going up, so which is good, okay? You can also add more lines in here by adding more matrix. Okay, so I'm going to add more matrix in here. I'm going to do maybe profit. I want to see how my profit's doing. Like that. Okay, so it looks like my profits also kind of go up too. Something like that. Okay, and again, as you can see that there are certain regions where there's no cell. So something to keep in mind. Maybe it's your data, or maybe, I don't know, something else happened. Okay? Also, keep in mind that we are working with the smaller sets of data. Okay? And then, so this is not the full picture yet, but it's a pretty good indicator of what your whole data is going to be like. Okay? Okay. All right, so, plotting is good, right? But the coolest feature in all of this, the reason why you would want to use this type of software is actually something called the cross-filtering, okay? What I mean by cross-filtering is that if I were to click into any of the charts, it's going to use that as a filter to all of the things in my page. So check this out. If I were to click at the United States, okay? It's going to actually change all the data to reflect just the United States. So that means that whatever I'm seeing my age here, total revenue, a profit, that's going to be only pertaining to the United States. Okay? And that is something that even for Python, it's relatively hard to do. Okay, so this is something that I would not recommend doing in Python. This one is a killer feature for this type of things. Okay, so it has its place. I use this because of this. That's why I use Looker Studio, because of this feature. It's so cool. Okay. All right, so you know what? I want to see how my customers are doing, separating by age group. So I want to see, okay, I have this one, which is the adult, right? So I can filter just the adult, and all of this for the adults, okay? So maybe we can see, who's buying what, right? So for adult, they're buying lots of bikes, okay? But maybe if I look into seniors, that might be a little bit different. Although senior is super small, okay? Can I even click it? Okay? If I look at seniors, okay, which is a very, very small portion of my data, okay, maybe they're still buying bike because this is a bike company after all. So bike is probably the big thing. But there are a couple of things that are different, right? So this is why it's called you remember Power BI, like the name of the software for the other one. It's called business intelligence. This is how you do the business intelligence, okay? All right, and it will be pretty good, like when you do presentation with your boss, like if you're able to click around, it's relatively impressive, I would say. So use Python to prepare your data and use this one to present. You will be very impressed. Your boss will be very impressed, Okay? Not only this, not only can you filter your data like this, you can even create your own filter. Okay, so this is the last topic for this. Okay, I want to add one, it's called control. Okay, so let's check this one. I want to add control. Okay, so let's add one control real quick, shall we? For example, I want to do a drop down, okay, because I know that maybe country is something that I will have to filter a lot. So I will do a drop-down list. Put this here. Okay. And this drop-down list will contain country. So I will do country. Right here. And that's it. I can also, in addition to filtering by clicking at the charts, right? If this is something that I use a lot, then I can just use the drop down as a control. So this one allows me to do multiple countries. I want to do maybe United States and Australia. I can do that too by unclick the rest, right? See? And then this data only valid for United States and Australia. So this is called a control, meaning that anything that you do it very often, or you want to have a little bit more fine-grained selection, then this is your a method to do. Okay, so I can create multiple controls in here. So I want to do maybe another slider. Slider is pretty cool too. Okay, maybe I want to filter by the age, right? So I can do age. Okay, and now you can see that if I do filter by age, then I can start to have the range of age that I'm interested in. Okay, so yeah, and then it combines with the drop down on the above, so I can narrow down the age between 15 and 30 in the United States and Australia. How is my sales doing? Something like that, that type of flexibility. It's hard to do even in Python. I would not recommend. I would recommend you do this. This is the best for this kind of tasks, okay? Okay. And also, typically people want to do the time, okay? So the time would be something that you might want to do. So you can do control, and then the date range. So this one, you know, pretty standard, right? You don't want to do for the last 10 years. It would be ridiculous, right? So you want to do maybe the sales within a certain date, right? Today, yesterday, this month. So that would be something that you want, right? Usually like the last, what's happening during the last 30 days, that would be better to do, right? So right now, if I were to choose this, I think we just see nothing because this data is very old. So if I choose the last 30 days, does it work? Actually, it doesn't even work because there's no data in here. Yeah, but something like that you can do, you can experiment, okay, last month. Or I have to apply. And yeah, if I apply, then there's nothing because this data is super old, right? But you can imagine that, you know, this kind of things can turn out to be very useful, like even in the engineering context, when you want to present your data. Even for your own analysis too. This is incredible, okay? And free, by the way. I haven't paid anything for many years, so use it, man. Okay, all right, so I want to see your dashboard in your glory details when you present it to me. Okay, so go crazy with it, all right? Last thing, or maybe a couple next to last thing is, I want to share it to other people. You can do that too, okay? So share, right? Like any other things in your Google Drive, you can share, okay? Again, but I think when you are sharing, you need to make your data public too, okay? So there are many ways to do, but let me just try to share it first, okay? Right? And again, pretty self-explanatory, right? When you want to share things from the Google Drive ecosystem, you can just share it. So let me see if I can do this so right now my data is not public yet, so let me copy. And if I open it in the incognito, let's see if I can see my stuff. If I can see it, that would be cool, okay? See, it's asked me to sign in, so let me just make sure that my data, actually I have to save it, maybe. Okay, I forgot to save. So let's try one more time. I want to see if I can. I want to see if I can see my data, see my reports in the incognito. So it's actually not that bad. Okay, so it's worked. Okay, so I thought that I need to make my data public too, but I guess I do not need it. And this is done, right? You can share this one. Again, you should make sure that your data is not, you know, secret or anything before sharing, okay? All right. So last thing in here, remember that we use the small data. What about the big data? The one that has 10,000 rows, okay? This one is only the one that has 100,000 rows. This one only has 10,000 rows, right? So when I want to use the real data, all I need to do is just to upload it again, okay? So I'm going to go back to my Google Sheet, right? Remember, small. This is why I named it small, because I know that this is small, okay? I want to import another one. Import. And now I'm going to import the big one, okay? So the big one, I'm going to upload again, and then this guy. So notice that the big one, it's actually about 8.5 megabytes. The small one, just 1 megabyte, right? So I'm going to upload the big one, okay? Which, it doesn't take that long, but it's going to slow down your dashboard when you change things. So that's why I don't like the big data at the first place, okay? Again, you can choose a new sheet. So right now it's going to create the new spreadsheet. That's not what I want. I want to insert a new sheet. Okay, remember, if you do this, then everything's gone. So you don't do that, okay? You can do this one, okay? And then just import the data. And then I'm going to name big, shall we? Yeah, 100,000 data rows take some time, right? Again, that's why I highly recommend working with smaller data first. I think it have to wait for it to show because it's too much data. Right? I think I have to wait. And remember, you have to wait a little bit. See how long it takes? Yeah, right now it comes, yeah? So be patient, okay? But again, that's why I don't like working with the big data right away. It's lacking. But I'm gonna name this one large, okay? So that I know which one is which, okay? All right, almost done. We're almost done, okay? So I'm going to go back to my reports, okay? And you haven't done this before, but if you go to resources, okay? And I'm going to go to manage, manage the added data source, okay? So this one, it's a useful menu when you have a lot of data sets in your reports. So let's check it out, okay? Again, you can see that I only have one data set, meaning one sheet, right? But, you know, nothing prevents me from adding a new one. So I'm going to add a new one. Again, Google Sheets, okay? And the same spreadsheet. Right now, I'm not seeing the newly created sheets, right? Again, same problem. The list is not refreshed, so I'm going to have to cancel, okay? And I'm going to have to just go back to the main page, okay? Maybe I refresh the thing. So I usually just kind of refresh things around, come back to the reports again, edit, okay? And then go back to my menu, and then add. And there you go. The large, also, I don't need this. But there you go, that's a large one. Okay, so keep in mind, I ran into this problem many times. So usually I go back, come back again, and the list is refreshed, okay? So I'm gonna add the new one, no problem. It's the same column, but just more rows, right? And again, you know, if you have lots of rows, this is gonna happen. It's gonna spin a lot, right? So do this at the last step. Okay, when you're done with your data, your dashboard, do this, okay? All right, and then I'm gonna add it to my report. Okay, and notice that once I did this, I have two choices. I have small and I have large, right? So what I can do is I can go back to my chart. Right now, my chart is actually using the smaller one, right? I can just change it into the large. See, I have choices now. So the last step is to change it to the large. That's all you need to do. Okay, I know it's a bit tedious, right? You have to go through all of it and change it to the large one. But I think this method will save you a lot of time during the development. You know, changing things at the last step is not that much time consuming. But if you have to wait for everything to load during your prototyping, it's taking too much time. So what I need to do, I have to go into all of this and then change it to the large one. That's all. So right now, if I change it like this, then this one is actually the real one, like the full version of the data. Okay. Again, this one too. I need to change it into large. So that's all you need to do. I know it's a bit tedious. I haven't found a way to change things automatically yet, which I don't think they will have something like this, okay? Again, this one, change into large. Okay, this one to large, right? I think I'm almost done, right? This one too, yeah, this one to large. This one to large. You know, unless your dashboard is like 100 charts in there, I don't think that will be a problem. This one go to large. Okay, I'm done. Now, all of my data, I'm using the full version of the data, all of this. As you can see that it actually changes. Okay, so keep in mind, this is my technique for using this software. And actually, any of the data stuff, you never want to use the big data first. Okay? All right, okay, so again, I expect some of this, all of you to use this one for the project. Okay, so have fun. Okay, we'll take 10 minutes breaks and I'll come back for the actual things that I skipped. Okay? I'll see you in 10 minutes.